Of all the ways to avoid trouble, the best one is get out of town. 25 years ago, I moved to the forest here in Central America. What started out as a vision of adventure, a call to living off the beaten path, turned into a very wise move. And what I want to share with you in this video is the important differences between US culture and the traditional cultures that you find throughout Latin America, from Mexico all the way to Argentina and back again. The reason the Americas will continue to be the place to be is obvious. Throughout all of Latin America, there's more land and fewer people and easier access to good, clean water than anywhere else on Earth. You want to get to a place that's growing quickly in Latin America because that's where the money's going. In my case, I invested in a piece of property high on a mountain overlooking a lake with volcanoes around it. If I sold today, I'd make almost 100 times my money. And getting to live someplace for 25 years, as beautiful as this, is just an extraordinary experience and a high quality of life, the cost of which you'd be so priced out of if you had to do it in North America, and you can do it here. In other words, what you get when you move to a place in Latin America is sovereignty. It gives you hope that there are still places like this, and once you find one that really suits you, you've really achieved something. The difference between traditional culture and North American culture, because there is an important difference. I'm in a pueblo with 2,000 indigenous Maya people. Here at Lake Atitlan, this village is Quechiquel. They speak Quechiquel. The villages across the lake speak Tzutujil, and they do identify differently. Obviously, there's nothing glamorous about the poverty that these people have to deal with. However, the depth of tradition and the grounded aspect to their culture that, yes, they know they've been passed by modern progress and technology, not all of which is progress, but they're getting there. And what they haven't lost is family. They haven't lost a sense of community. They haven't lost a deep sense of decency. You don't see people behaving badly. They show up and say hello to each other in church on Sunday. A pueblo of 2,000 people will teach you things about community and will show you this is how life should be. You can have this kind of experience. You don't need to go to a pueblo in poor part of Guatemala to find it. This kind of communal look at how the community interacts still that we've lost so much of in North America is still everywhere you look in Latin America. Even neighborhoods in Buenos Aires, massive megalopolis, possess such a dynamic. You can look and look for a long time in North America. People at each other's throats and antagonizing one another and not really understanding where that's leading. You get a good basis for the way things could resolve in a peaceful, positive manner by seeing how it used to be. The negative side, or one of the dynamics that makes it very tough for traditional culture, people in traditional culture, is they do not possess a dynamic of, I'm going to set my own course in life. The modern thing is, I'm an individual. The tradition is, of course, you're going to do what mom and dad think you should do and how the society wants you to act. There's a restraining quality to the norms that people are required to follow in traditional culture. However, it is happening, partly because of economic reasons, as greater prosperity shows up in these places, and partly for other reasons. I have a very heartwarming story. A young woman 12 years ago told me she wanted to be a nurse. Her parents were so proud and happy. They didn't have any idea how they were going to pay for nursing school, but they did it. And to watch an indigenous Maya woman starting out in life, I want to do this with my life. This is not something that has existed prior generations. It just wasn't possible, let alone permitted. Nobody thought that way. And so that is a positive influence in part that is the result of some of the mixing of culture. The best part of US culture is the hardest part, which is that you're expected to do something extraordinary. And I think it's fair, with all the advantages that we have, that that pressure exists. Very important that you go and figure out what's important to you and that you go follow it and do it, and that you move yourself toward a worthwhile goal so that when you get to the kind of age I am in my 50s, you can look at some things that you've achieved and feel really good. I went into the dark forest. It was very hard. It was very difficult. I had no idea how I was supposed to achieve my quest, but I did it. And so watching those two dynamics, the US idea of individuality show up in a traditional collectivist culture like the one that we see here in the Maya world, where prior to 10, 20 years ago, the idea that especially young women would set their own course in life was absolutely anathema. US people get grounding and real understanding of, hey, this is a much better way for people to live in harmony with one another. Sure, you can disagree with your neighbor. It doesn't mean you have to be at each other's throats. There's no doubt Latin America holds more than just the obvious things that it offers to North Americans who want to settle someplace and have a high quality of life for less. It also offers a way out of the vitriol and the bitterness that has taken hold of of our culture and that may very well sink us. And there are places where you can go to escape whatever trouble is coming to North America. That's what we do here. So if you're interested, I have a link below this video. You can get your free download. It's called Bulletproof Plan B. This walks you through the 4 major pillars that you'll have to put in place to have a true, safe, secure, well thought out Plan B. That's absolutely free. You can read it in a single day. It's very clear. It's very easy. It makes it very obvious what it is that you need to do. And that's enough out of me. I'll be back in other videos. Thanks very much. Remember, your freedom begins when you realize nobody's coming to save you. If you like this video, give us a subscribe. Thanks very much.